Recently, I feel like I finally leveled up in fighting games. One week to the next, I just suddenly felt like I could keep track of things better in my head. I could see the match at a more macro level, rather than focusing on my own play. Something just clicked. At first, I thought it was because I've been practicing more, so that was my efforts paying off. But as I thought about it more, I realized, no, this isn't something I just started to learn. Rather, this is an accumulation of all of my playtime. This is all of my experience, understanding, and growth coming together to push me to the next level. There are some skills and concepts that you only gain by playing fighting games over a long period of time. They aren't easily gained. I would almost call it the equivalent of wisdom in that you must learn them over time rather than from a video or a post. And the first thing on that list is actually the fundamentals. Fighting game fundamentals aren't easily defined. The definition can vary from person to person and game by game, but they tend to center around understanding neutral, offense, defense, oki, and positioning. At least I think so. But just because you may know what these things are and conceptually know how those things interact, there's a big difference to actually navigating all of those ideas in a match. Only through experience do you gain an understanding of what those situations feel like, the difficulty of trying to find the best option under pressure under a wide set of ever-changing variables. By playing fighting games over time, the repetition of being in those situations, you start to acclimate to thinking, calculating, and understanding those concepts during a match. Conscious or not, you're constantly practicing the fundamentals. You're building that muscle memory and understanding the patterns of combat. Each game will emphasize different aspects of the fundamentals differently. A game like Street Fighter is going to make you play footsies, whether you like it or not. But a game like 2XKO is going to tell you, yo, hold this mix. As you play more, a wider variety of fighting games, you will keep on building that intuitive understanding of how the fundamentals work. This, in turn, will reduce your mental stack. You'll notice this as you pick up new characters and new games. The time it takes you to learn the basics or to navigate combat or even recognize what you need to do to improve, those are all signs of understanding. And that gained knowledge means it's no longer taking up mental space. Empty brain can be good brain. Sometimes. With that knowledge though, there is something else you gain. Something especially unique. Understanding of yourself. You only truly know what you like once you've tried it. And when you play fighting games over time, you're gonna figure out what you do and don't like. The characters you choose to play will shape your viewpoint. What a grappler player enjoys about a game will be different than what a rushdown player enjoys. How a DP privileged player feels about the game will be different to the rest of us. As you play more characters or simply play the game more, your view will naturally expand. You'll realize that perhaps you like set play but not zoning. Or perhaps you like characters with the high skill ceiling. Or maybe you're just all about the waifus. Either way, you know what you like. And that knowledge takes time to gain. You have to try these things out to know if you like it, with that character or with that game. Ultimately, you'll be able to identify what brings you joy, or what brings you frustration. I'll be honest and say it took me a long time to figure out that I don't like playing footsies a lot. The more footsie heavy a character is, the more frustrated I get. So what did I do? I found enjoyment in a character that does a lot more than just footsies. And thus, I found my joy. We all run into experiences like this. We find characters we like, games we don't like, and we naturally move in the direction of the games we enjoy. And this all creates a certain mindset. A mindset that isn't unique to fighting games, but one the community definitely tries to pioneer. A growth mindset. If you've never heard of the concept before, this comes from a social psychological theory. It's best summarized by its framer, Carol Dweck. In a fixed mindset, students believe their basic abilities, their intelligence, their talents are just fixed traits. They have a certain amount and that's it. In a growth mindset, students understand that their talents and abilities can be developed through effort, good teaching, and persistence. They don't necessarily think everyone's the same or anyone can be Einstein, but they believe everyone can get smarter if they work at it. When you play fighting games over time, you see this concept repeated throughout the community. Over time, you notice your achievements, you see your abilities develop, and you embrace learning. At its root, every fighting game player knows they can get better if they put in the effort and practice. The growth mindset requires you to look inward and see what you can do to improve. But as we all know too well, not everyone does this. If the internet has anything to say, and they say quite a lot, it's that the game or a character or a developer or a player is the reason they lost. And we have a term for these kinds of people: the scrub. Even in the negative sense, the FGC uses the title of scrub as a way to show how not to act, who not to blame for your choices. Though it is through ridicule, it stands as an example of the mindset you should avoid having. You don't want to be a scrub, so stop beast blaming. Through positive or negative examples, players learn that you can improve, but in order to absorb this way of thinking, it takes time. You need to be within the community, learning from others, and you pick it up over time. It's that time with fighting games that makes you better. Though many of us play fighting games just for fun, just the act of playing will make us better. We will gain the understanding of ourselves and what we can achieve. And I feel like this has positive ripple effects into people's lives. So keep playing, keep exploring, and mashing on plus frames, because you're a casual, so why not?